My name's John-Henry Harter, and I am a lecturer in Labour Studies at Simon Fraser University. MoveUP did a bid for somebody, whoever, to redesign JS1, Job Steward 1, Job Steward 2, and Job Steward 3 modules, like your whole training module. So Kendra, the director of Labour Studies, contacted me and said, hey, John-Henry, like we should put a bid in, like this is right up your alley. And so she helped me with the bid with the intention like that I would be the one doing it. So that was really cool.
So the education committee, which is made up of the three vice presidents, Annette, Christy, and myself, as elected, we see that our members, our job stewards, really don't understand why, one, the union is so political, two, what unions have brought to the table, because a lot of our certifications, they're hired into a union. And then we have our staff side, where they're looking at our job stewards to be more technical, ensuring that they're writing grievances correctly, processing, abiding by timelines. So what we did was we wanted to marry those two issues and redesign our job steward 1, 2, and 3 to make sure that we can cover all of that off so that we have informed job stewards to go back into the work sites.
The direction, one of the key things was that they MoveUP wanted the new curriculum to line up more with the mission, vision, and value statement of MoveUP. And the really cool thing is the education committee, the vice presidents, allowed me a lot of leeway of interpreting what that meant. And so I sort of did up a rough draft of like, here's how I'm going to approach this, which is including more about social unionism, activism, labor history into the curriculum. So it's not just that technical training of a job steward, here's what you do. That's still present in it, but it's not exclusively that.
We just basically talked about how we want to ensure, one, our job stewards are educated as a whole, and that we address our mission, vision, and values. We're also looking probably this year or maybe into early next year, how we're going to try to make more of a social job steward, so then that way we can attract those job stewards that aren't comfortable sitting across the table from management or filing grievances, that they could be more of a social job steward.
I think it's really important in the MoveUP specific, it's important for MoveUP to have a broader understanding of the social political realities of the communities that they live and work in, and then more broadly, not just applicable to MoveUP, but the labor movement in general, to have a grounding in the community, in the history politically of the working class, just so we're not removed. So it's not like the labor movement and everybody else, but recognizing, and one key thing is organize the unorganized. So to allow us to think of ourselves as part of this larger, broader political movement, I think is key.
It's giving the tools for our job stewards that aren't around us a lot, or taking a lot of webinars, etc., or listening to the language that we speak now. They're learning that language. In the history class, one of the attendees said that there's a lot of terminology that they are hearing during this seminar that they haven't heard before, and then they're asking those questions like, what does that mean? And I think when they learn that language, they can go back into the work site and help others to learn the language as well. And then that way we can have a more inclusive, not only work sites, but communities outside of the Lower Mainland.
The group I have is amazing, and the light bulb is going off for lots of the participants, but also for me and for Rysa, one of the vice presidents, and my assistant, if you will, because we're having these great conversations like, what is class? Who are the working class? And so I learn from it, and the students are learning more, particularly because I'm teaching it from a Canadian context. And even for people who did their whole K-12 education in Canada, we don't get taught about the working class. And there's this assumption, hey, we're all middle class if you have a job and maybe a car. And so I think the light bulb's going off about like what it is to be working class, and that the the union movement, the labor movement's roots. Like, we are working class.